Does a sports injury have you sidelined? Are you ready to get back in the game quickly and safely? With the most up-to-date technology to relieve pain and speed recovery, Dr. Michael Scarpone and his skilled team understand your needs. Beginning this August through October, Dr. Scarpone will be available Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturday mornings from 8 to 8:30 a.m., treating all athletes between junior high through college level. For more information and to see what other players and coaches are saying, find us on Facebook or visit us online.
Hey, welcome to week 7 of the high school sports football season for the Herald-Star podcast. Mike Mathison with Fred. My back is killing me except for these awesome paint shots. Younce?
They're fabulous.
I keep telling you, the paint shots aren't the good. It's what's inside the paint shots that are good, right?
All I know is it doesn't hurt now.
Okay, some big games this week, starting at Harding. We're Youngstown Ursuline, who's lost 3 in a row. But the 3 in a row have been to Zanesville, St. Ed's, and Erie Cathedral Prep, who are combined 17-0.
Yeah, that's a pretty good schedule you lost
exactly.
to right there.
And they're still in the playoff, 103-3. So, and then Big Red is 5-1, 8th in the state in the poll, 6th in the region. Computer points mean nothing till week 10 anyway, and it really doesn't matter. Big Red's coming off a nice win against Westinghouse. Once again, Big Red's defense is still doing its thing. Offense is getting a little bit better, but this is a massive points game for Big Red. Massive points game.
Oh yeah, this is a big test for them. Their biggest test of the year was Massillon. They struggled early, and then they showed a lot of heart through the rest of that game, shutting Massillon down the rest of the game. This week they get Ursuline. Now we get to see what they're about yet again. The bell's going to ring. They're going to have to come out, throw some punches at Ursuline, and give them 4 losses in a row, which I know Ursuline's whole division would love to see them lose another game.
Yeah, because that division wants no part of Ursuline in the playoffs.
They do not want Youngstown Ursuline there, and Big Red could help a lot of people this week.
Exactly. I don't know too many teams who have Zanesville, St. Ed's, and Cathedral Prep on their schedule.
I think they're playoff ready.
And by the way, week 10, Ursuline has that team called Mooney. Yeah. So.
Not bad schedule.
On the opposite note, we got Magnolia going to Weirton. Magnolia is 2 in the state in the polls. Probably, I don't care about the point systems yet. We're struggling 0-6. Looks like 0-10. I talked to one of the assistants the other day. He was really proud about how the kids played against Oak Glen. 2 long passes from Larson to JoJo Rice for touchdowns. Obviously, you get the ball in JoJo's hands, good things can happen, but Magnolia is a really good football team.
Yeah, this is a very talented Magnolia squad. This is a Magnolia squad that's thinking state title. Their state
Class
championship was blessed this year. They showed some improvement against Oak Glen. They played Oak Glen a lot tougher than I expected them to. But they're playing a Blue Eagles team that's looking to just go in here, take their win, and move on.
Exactly.
The Red Riders are going to have to come up with something special this week if they want to have a chance.
Yep. And then Toronto, one of the home that's Weird's homecoming. And then we go to the other homecoming game Friday night is Bellsville at Toronto. The Red Knights are, finding something. Obviously, they're 2-4. Scored 27 against St. John's Shelter to beat them 48-28. A couple pick sixes by Joey Chadwick. Ches Glenn went nuts. I don't see them really having an issue with Bellsville. Bellsville's got a really good, talented quarterback in Taryn Jarrett, really talented athlete. But I just think Toronto and Coach Meek has found something. Yeah.
Offensively, I think this is the offense that Coach Meek envisioned when this season started.
Yep.
He told me before the season he had a lot of young speed that he just wanted to get on the outside. And now you're starting to see it with Ches. Nate Stewart stepped up 2 weeks ago. You got the 2 seniors at receiver that can both make plays. Blaze Glenn has shown an ability as a freshman that you don't see much out of freshmen.
Yeah.
This is a team that has really come a long way and is on a hot streak. Like you said, Bellsville has a tough quarterback in Jarrett, but I don't think they have the weapons to stay with Toronto this week. Last week, Meek's concern was Bel Air St. John's defense. They had a really good defense. He wasn't as much concerned with their offense. What happens? Toronto found a way to score 48 points, 2 defensive touchdowns, but still 34 offensive points.
Exactly.
That's a heck of a game. He's got a little fire going under that team.
I agree.
And they do every year with him. They seem to get better as the year goes on.
I agree with that. And to me, and I just thought of this in my completely empty mind. But remember years ago where it was just forbidden to play freshman quarterbacks, and you just didn't do it. Well, this year, Toronto has Blaze Glenn. Last year, we had William Larch. He got hurt. And the year before, Catholic Central had Brenton Colabella. I mean, if you're good, you're good.
Yeah.
Right?
If you should be on the field, you should be on the field. And you're starting to see it out of these kids.
I completely agree with you. Big, huge game down in Ferry Friday night where Creek goes to Ferry. Big Buckeye 8 matchup. But once again, it's this type of season, week 7, 8, 9, 10, it's huge points for the most part, unless you're playing a team that's not going to give you any points. Yeah. But it's a huge points battle. Creek goes to Ferry. Creek is 10 in the region in Division 3. I mean, they were 8, beat UL, and lose 2 points. That's never good. Ferry's 5 in Division 4, Region 15. It's going to happen to a
lot of people that beat UL.
Yeah, you're going to win and go down. That's just that's a whole other subject. Here's why I like Creek, is because I think they have more. They're athletic, and an athletic Harrison Central team took it to Martins Ferry, and rumor has it Crockett actually went 5 wide empty a few times against Ferry. Creek has no problem going 5 wide empty. Alex Young is pretty talented behind. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's going to be a brutal battle because Ferry's coming off 40-0 win over Buckeye. Yeah. I just really like what Creek is doing right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably game of the week in my opinion. That's a matchup for the ages. I mean, Harrison Central and Indian Creek and Martins Ferry are 2 teams that are very talented and are looking at playoffs, trying to collide with each other. When you look at matchups, though, what Martins Ferry likes to do is they like to pound the ball at you.
Absolutely.
They can hit you with those play-action passes, but they want to beat you with the run. Just line it up and go down your throat. What does Creek do well? They stop the run. The best way to beat Creek is to spread it out on them. Ferry doesn't do that.
Right.
That front line, that front 7, but especially that front defensive line of Indian Creek is so talented and so deep. You can't wear them down because they're switching in guys the whole game, and it just seems like they keep coming at you. So I agree with you. I think this is a very good matchup for Indian Creek, but it's going to be an exciting game.
It's going to be a knockdown drag-out.
Yeah.
And everyone, I mean, Ferry doesn't like the blitz, which that gives Alex Young more time, and that's not good for the defense. I'm sorry, that's just not good for the defense.
Because it's almost worse if you drop back in coverage, you cover well, and he decides he wants to run. Because now you've given him space to decide to use that speed.
Yeah, and that's
it ends badly for other teams.
Well, Buckeye Locals coming off a 40-0 whipping by Ferry, but they go to UL. So if you're going to get healthy, they're 3-3. They still have a chance to the playoffs because you win out, you're 7-3. Yeah. It's bottom line, but they have to take care of business against UL like Creek took care of business with UL last week.
Yeah, this is the perfect game to be coming off of that 40-0 loss. Union Local is a team that we've seen time and time again. They're struggling.
Yep.
Creek dominated them. I don't think Buckeye Local is as good as Indian Creek, but Union Local has trouble with the run. Buckeye Local runs the ball very well.
Yep.
Plus, they have speed to get to the outside. I just think in every way, Buckeye Local is a better team coming into this game.
I agree. And how about if you're Edison and Mike McKenzie? Not only did you just get beat up in the second half by Harrison Central, congratulations, you get St. Clairsville. Yeah. St. Clairsville, number 1 in the region, 7 in the state. Yeah. And we all know they're talented. I mean, and they're living up to their billing. It's one thing to be talented and hyped, but they're playing very good football. Week after week. Sometimes they start slow. Bel Air hung with them last week for a quarter and a half, maybe a half, and then it was over. It's going to be a tough night. Cartwright Field for the Wildcats.
And it sounds like a broken record. Week after week, we just keep saying Edison just didn't quite put it together. Last week against Harrison, score first, go up 7-0, only down 8-7 at halftime. You're like, wow, this is
exactly.
And then the second half, Harrison puts the ball down their throat, scores 3 quick touchdowns, and basically cruises from there to the 2-touchdown win. This is not a good matchup at all. It's not a good matchup for anybody. No offense, that is really nobody. It's a good matchup for.
Nope.
But right now, this is a St. C team that's running on all cylinders. They've shown no true sign of weakness yet.
No, they're playing pretty solid.
We're still waiting for that team that can really just line it up and try and pound the ball out with them. Edison's not that team, and we know they have a solid running game. On the bright side for Edison, last week we did see an ability to hit that big pass that they've just been missing all week. Unfortunately, it was against a team like Harrison that had a 330-yard game from Martise Hython. You can't really counter that too much, but you're seeing improvement. Now is just time for Edison to see if they can get some of those younger players game ready for next year.
Exactly.
I hate to say it, but that's what we're looking at.
All right. Speaking of Martise Hython and the Harrison Central Huskies, they get Bel Air. Talk about a nice contrast from Edison. They're going to see Spencer Padilla throw the ball about 8 million times. They're going to do whatever you can do. But then again, everyone says you got to keep Badie off the field as much as possible. Well, Bel-Air gave up, 360 in rushing yardage to Creek a couple weeks ago. Hello. Hython, run the ball, senior dominated offensive line, and the play action pass with Snoop, Rasheed Mitchell with Olmstead and the other Mitchell and Nick Pellegrin. I think Bel-Air's in trouble.
Yeah, the contrasting styles here is really intriguing to me because you got the team that wants to spread it out and do nothing but throw. Harrison's a little more balanced than normal, but they still rely on that power running game to wear you down. How do you counter Bel-Air? You run the ball, you pound them out, you wear them down, you keep them off the field. Like you said, I mean, you got Hython coming off a 3:30 game, feeling really good. They got when he comes out of the game, they got a couple of other backs that are very good, and Nico Williams and Nate Mayoski.
Yeah,
both have bursts of speed. So they come in, and you're so used to the just pounded out style that Hython gives you, and then all of a sudden one of them hits the hole and they're gone.
Right.
So I think the running game of Harrison could take control. One weakness I may have saw in Harrison is that, Edison was able to hit a couple of long passes on them. They're going to have to be ready to see that all day.
Exactly, all night, absolutely.
All night long, that's what Bel-Air's going to want to do. So, but it should be a fun game, but in the end, I just think the running game of Harrison's too much.
What if Kropka has enough Pepto-Bismol on hand? He worries anyway.
You guys got a date tonight, don't you?
No.
You can ask him.
No, I don't see him during the football season.
Oh.
But seriously, all that throwing, I could just, oh man. And by the way, Harrison Central is 6th in the region too, so this is another huge points game for them.
They're looking playoffs. They have
they're
a
looking
very
playoffs.
good chance, and they would love to just snatch some Bel-Air points right now.
All right, we got a big game down at JM. Big game down at JM. Madonna goes to Bishop Donahue, 2 Class A good football teams. See, Madonna's 5th in the state. Bishop Donahue's 11th in the state in the recent Charleston Daily Mail prep football poll. Madonna's coming off just a whipping of Bridgeport, and they looked really good. Bridgeport looked really bad. They made Bridgeport look really bad, but Madonna looked really good. Everyone's healthy. Osman's healthy, scored a couple TDs. Elliott Nero's healthy. Will Bowser, Comus, Travis Brown's healthy on the defensive end. Josh Martin is 7'1", and tends to eat up a whole lot of space. If Madonna's going to do what they want to do, they have to win this. They have to win this football game.
Oh yeah.
Period.
This is going to be a bigger challenge, except for the Wheeling Central game. This will be the biggest challenge they face this season for Madonna.
Oh, absolutely.
But they're running on all cylinders right now. This is a good Madonna team that's playing exceptionally well right now. And like you said, they're healthy. I just love the way Madonna's playing right now.
Yep.
Bishop Donahue, as good as they are, I just don't know if they're ready to match up with Madonna man for man.
We'll see. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I think there's a handful of really good teams in Class A, and Madonna's one of them.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, traveling south, Oak Glen, which got off the snide last week by beating Weir. They're going to Tyler Consolidated, and this is one of those games you need to go on the road and take care of business, period. If you have any chance to make the playoffs, you need to go down to Tyler, beat up on Tyler in the first half, take care of business, and leave Tyler being 4-2, and this is a must-win for the Bears.
Yeah, I mean, it's Tyler Consolidated. I don't mean to be rude. They're not a very good team. Oak Glen is on a little bit of a roll. I mean, they got the win against Weir. Is there something wrong?
No, it's just, it's our behind the microphone talent.
Okay.
Or
come on,
whatever.
man. I'm trying to talk about how Oak Glen's going to win really big this week. Their fans are going to be upset with you. Emails should go to Mike McElwain at mMcElwain@heraldstaronline.com.
Oh, sorry.
But no, Oak Glen got
Should
Bub
be seen and
Haddocks
not heard.
got Bub Haddocks back last week. They didn't look as dominant against Weir as we expected them to, but of course their best player was just coming off pneumonia.
Yeah.
I expect him to be, even though he scored 3 touchdowns, I expect him to be at full.
Yeah, they
full
got the
strength
job
this
done.
week. Yeah, they're gonna. I expect them to run through Tyler Consolidated on a move to try and make the playoffs. This
Absolutely. And the only Saturday night game we have is Barnesville coming to Steubenville Catholic Central. Now, Catholic Central's played 6 games. They're 4-2, but has
year.
missed
2 losses by 5 points.
2 losses by
Total.
5 points and missed 3 quarters based on Mother Nature.
3.5.
3.5 on Mother Nature. I mean, and this is another big points game too because Barnesville comes in 4-2, but they lost to Winless Caldwell last week.
Yeah.
So Central beats Canaan Valley 54-7 in a game that was halted.
They could have scored 70.
Look, it ain't gonna be I don't think it's gonna be much different this week. I mean, Central is talk about all cylinders. Oh my goodness.
And
their defense. Come on, their defense is playing
a lot
so much better.
Last week against Canton Valley had they scored the last touchdown of the game. It was when the game was out of hand. It was already 54-0 one. But earlier in the game, Canton Valley had 2 good chances in the first half to score. Both times, Central came away with interceptions deep.
Yeah.
One by Lockhart, one by Michael Carpellotti. This defense has improved that greatly over the season. Barnesville is not the Barnesville team we've seen the last 2 years.
No.
Barnesville had some studs the last 2 years. Those kids aren't there. I think they surprised some people with their 4 wins, and they were like, oh, they really haven't beaten anybody. And then the Caldwell game, there's your sign.
Here's your sign.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bill.
So, but Central's just playing well. And the scary thing is I think they found another weapon at receiver in that Johnny DiCarlantonio.
Yeah, all 4 for 3 of them?
Yeah, he hits a 73-yard touchdown pass in that game. Where'd he come from? They've had the big 4 all season. Now they got 5, plus the backfield has shown an ability to make a big play. They don't run it consistently, but they have 3 running backs in Maslowski, Stone Romano, and Luke Potenzini that can all run the ball hard and run the ball well. This is a dangerous, dangerous Central team, and I think Barnesville's in for a long night.
I mean, look, how does the defense see a 4 for 3 DiCarlantonio? And second of all, how does Colabella find him? I mean, dude, he's like
Brenton sees the whole field, man.
Yeah, he's like that tall.
But he's fast.
He is fast.
He made Canton Valley look like they were running in sand on that play.
What I want to see, even though it costs 15, is DiCarlantonio score and dunk. I want to see him dunk it over the goalpost.
If the Carlantonio dunks, I will do the next telecast in a blue and gold face paint.
Sorry, Coach Daly. Oh, and one more thing. Brooke has a bye this week, but shout out to the Bruins for going down to Point Pleasant.
Oh, yeah.
And getting a 34-33 win.
Great win last week. And you know what? I have to bite my tongue. I said they have to find somebody other than Buckmelter. Buckmelter scores 5 touchdowns.
Yeah. Ran for 4 and threw for a 5th.
Yeah. Maybe you don't. But
he's a good kid, too.
Yeah, he's a very good kid. Yep. And a great win for them. Like that could help them as the season goes on.
Well, look, they have their last 4 games are Park South, Weir, JM, and Morgantown. Look, they go 4-0 in those games, including big wins against Park South and Morgantown, which are huge points games.
Yeah.
Hello, playoffs.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
You can absolutely. You have to keep that in the back of your head. If you're a Brook Bruin, you're 1-5. You finish 5-5. Possibilities playoffs are possibilities.
Just got to keep focused and take it one game at a time. That's what they did. They went down to a very good Point Pleasant team, got a big win against them, and I mean you got to have none of. I'll be honest, didn't think they had a chance, and my hat's off to them because they went in and they were down, came back from a halftime deficit on the road to a playoff contender.
You don't wear a hat.
Okay, that was figurative.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Hey, we're done. See you next week.
Bye. Except for that little hiccup in the middle.
That was funny,
I
though.
forgot who Tyler Consolidated was playing, and you were blocking the OG, and I kept trying to get around you.
Oh.
Because you were talking. All you kept saying was Tyler, and I'm like,